Welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly, episode 38. Prior to him hitting the recording button, we had to try and figure out exactly what number we were on, but he nailed it. How's it going, champ?
Yeah, well, we didn't have to try to figure out. You guessed wrong at 36. I said it was 38. And then with that highly motivated, welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly. Welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly. That's the way the producers want us to do it. So
I understand that. I guess I'll have to make sure, since we don't end up doing any kind of scrub over or do over here, I'll do it for next week and make sure I get it.
we'll see. We'll check with the executive producer. But it was quite a scare. I did these two shows in Orlando and Naples, and several people told me I gave them partial heart attacks with my post saying that we were overshadowing Tucker and Don's removal.
Right.
I'm glad a lot of people were coming up to me, which is also amazing. And hey, everybody, because I had a lot of people come up and go, oh, we love Wayne and you're okay.
Whatever, dude. It's the other way around.
Well, it's really cool to meet you in person as opposed to, in person, and as opposed to watching on their phone or their laptop or whatever. But the funny thing was, they told me that some of them knew you, and they said I was a lot bigger in person, but you weren't.
But I wasn't.
That you weren't. You're still just a little person. So,
dude, you make it sound like I'm like a dwarf, dude. I'm like 5'9.5", and I will get that extra half inch out there.
Are you that
size
tall?
does matter. Shut up, dude. I'm around you. I've been next to you at trade shows. You act like I sit on 5 phone books from 1986 from New York City just to get my height.
You just seem smaller.
Stay hot, brother. I love it, man.
No, I'm 6'1", and sometimes I'll say and a half because I am. And
okay.
Although what a fun thing I do is when I'm around somebody who I think sensitive about their height or they may stretch it, I always say when people start talking about heights, especially if there's ladies around, I'll say I'm 5'11", and then the guy that's 5'11" that tells people he's 6 foot and I'm 3 inches taller than him, he says,
right.
No, you're not. You're taller than that. And I go, oh no, I was just at the doctor's last week and they measured me. Yeah. I'm really like 5'10" and a half, but I roll up to 5'11". And then,
do you think
then
that they're wearing lifts?
Regular confident guys just sit there and laugh it off because they know I'm kidding or messing with them because they're confident in who they are and they know how tall they are and their height doesn't define them like it defines me.
I think that living with 7 guys in college certainly made me bulletproof, because God forbid that you would ever show any sensitivity or weakness regarding any kind of a comment, because now automatically you're going to have 6 guys that won't let it go. So to the very degree that they're able to get under your skin, they're going to like double it. Right. I mean,
we've talked about it before. We had Mike Bates on the show. We have to have Kenny Sugars come on the show, who is the U.S. Marshal. Tons of personality. Definitely one of the smartest guys I've ever known. I mean, just freaking brilliant. And he's also one of the best athletes I've ever known. And he's 6'6". And
that would be cool.
This guy was the smartest in our group. He was the best athlete, blah, 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 blah. For a bunch of good, confident, smart guys, there's always somebody higher. And I wonder if Kenny thinks anybody smarter than him. Right. But and you saw how, Mike Bates is freaking brilliant, but Kenny, is I don't know if everybody agrees with me in the group. And then I'm sorry. And then Rob Aid, who is also a freaking genius. And as part of our group, I'm going to switch a little bit on this one just because this is how we're doing today. Because we are our own guest today. I was talking to somebody up in Virginia recently, good friend of mine, and she was saying, she goes, I just don't know any really good couples. She's like, I don't know if I'll ever get married again. And we've been friends forever. And she's divorced, wonderful human being, all the great qualities. But she's like, I just don't know. She's kind of soured on it. And I said, I know a lot of guys with either great marriages or great relationships. My two partners, their other halves are fantastic, or I want to be partners with them. You know, you have this amazing relationship with your wife. All these people that I'm around, I surround myself with I want to be friends with a man if he wasn't good to his wife or his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, for
You know,
sure.
John Marks is engaged to Angelica, and you know he treats her like gold, and as he should, and she treats him like gold. And you know, and the women that I'm mentioning, the guys, they're all great to the men too, and they have these great, fantastic relationships. And my mom used to say that she used to, and she was married 59 years to my dad, and she'd say, you know, are there any great marriages anymore? And so I just start naming, you know, people that she knew and I knew that had great marriages, and then she'd pipe down. But you know, whether it's your friendships of just humans and then how you choose them, I think is so extremely important. And what I say, show me the people you hang out with, and I'll show you your future. And you know,
Absolutely.
very wise sayings. You know, the sayings we have that come up today is now, you know, so these ludicrous that these young people come up with. You know, now they just change words around. You know, and I'm obsessed with everything.
Well, I think it's the reflectivity of the energy that you exude and what you're going to attract into your life. You can find whatever it is that you're looking for every single day, and you will. And the energy that you exude is going to certainly come back at you. And if anybody doesn't believe that, look at people that are kind of a downer. They're not really where they're at and where they want to be. You can ask them one or two questions, or you can feel it yourself.
Right.
You can feel it.
Well,
It's true.
I feel like all of a sudden I'm talking to Oprah about energy, but and it's not, and you know, and you know the laws of attraction. No, it's who you choose to have in your life. I
Absolutely.
mean, I think good people attract good people, and they also attract bad people who want to be good people.
Yeah,
So
I
there
agree.
is that type of you know thing going out there, but more importantly, choose who you want to be around. And you know, I'm not mentioning any names, but you and I both know people in the industry that we don't want to be around. You
Yeah,
know, for one reason or another, either it's all out for themselves, what can I get from you, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other people that are just trying to better their lives and better the lives of the people around you. You know, the reason that we go for a long time with having guests, and then finally we get to do one with just each other, is because we want to elevate other people, and we want to bring other people that are going to bring something to our viewers, because we know that there's a lot of other people that can bring a lot more than we can. And we're just the facilitators of bringing these people together. Wow. How'd you like that?
I like it because when we started doing it, I think the two things that we agreed on is that we're never going to do a do over, and the other thing is that if we can help one person that listens to us, they can get a message from one of our guests or even from us, one person, then to me, we don't care how many people watch this. That's kind of the beautiful thing about it. We just don't care. We just throw our messages out. But I hope it does help some people.
Well, it does. I mean, one thing is, what do we have now? Like 20 sponsors, and how much they don't pay is based on how many viewers we have.
Good point. Good point.
What is that? A Chick-fil-A?
No. So it's Cabana Bay, which is in Orlando. It's this big resort that is patterned after like life in the 1950s and early 60s. They actually have a Jack LaLanne fitness center. If you remember Jack LaLanne, my mom used to exercise to that,
Yeah.
right? The architecture is post World War II contemporary. It would be baby boomer heaven for you.
Right.
My son loves it. So we went there a couple times over the years, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, Cabana Bay, they are one of our sponsors today.
Right.
It's owned by Universal, and it's pretty cool.
Right, we're
Definitely
big
check it
fans
out
of
on the web.
Universal. Universal, for the people that live out of state, is the best amusement facility in Florida. And running a close second would be SeaWorld.
I did not know that. I didn't know that. I thought mighty Walt Disney was the king.
No,
Whoops. Okay. Remember,
we weren't going to mention
everything.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so anyway,
So we're not. Yeah.
so speaking of
Back up.
sponsors, also Callaway Golf and Callaway Water, and always the Terminator, LGC. If you need an owner's rep, who do you call? LGC. And never do this. We never talk about property management companies, but actually I got a little gift from Castle Group. So
That's nice.
we're going to pretend like they're a sponsor, and another pretend sponsor, and also our best fitness knowledge woman, or not fitness, but health food, and is Rockin Wellness, Allison, who I tell you what, we've had so many great guests, but for somebody who was not comfortable doing the show, she did fantastic, and she was really pleased too, which made me even happier when I talked to her after we did the show. But I love Rockin Wellness. I took it on the trip with me.
Yeah, it's some of the people that have trepidation prior to it. I just tell them two things. Number one, you're overthinking it. Number two, all you need to do is just act like you and I are having a conversation in a bar or we're having a cup of coffee. Don't overthink this. It's just, it's kind of, I would probably be nervous too if I haven't done this for so long, but I'm not. I embrace it. So when I was in Dallas this weekend, or this week, for the Real Manager Leadership Conference as a sponsor, a couple people had come up to me and said, hey, I watch your podcast all the time. I love you guys. But then having to go up in front of several hundred people and talk, I always kind of embrace it, but just for the fact that there's a little bit of nervousness and trepidation. So I force myself to do it. Okay. And I love it. So that's a little bit of a way how I would feel when someone comes on our show. They probably have some nervousness, but they're facing it and they're doing it. What do you think about that?
I think it's great because and people that I won't even mention their names that are in very high positions were very nervous and when they were very appreciative of how we do things, because it's just we're just hanging out and talking. Just sometimes I forget if we're doing the show or not. Sometimes in my conversations with people,
right,
and sometimes I have conversations with you or someone else. I'm going, man, I wish we were recording that. But it's fun. Several people came up to me. A woman, and I'm so bad with names, so sorry. And she's a wonderful lady, and her and her cousins have a big company where they do restoration work. Really, really fun group of people. And she lives in New Smyrna Beach with you, not with you, but.
Did you say she owns a management company?
No, they have a restoration business. Her cousin owns the company. Up from where you're from in that world, but they do business in Florida and several states. Okay. Really neat. So she comes up to me but she was in Orlando and then the group was over in Tampa. And when she first walked up to me, she goes, "Oh, I know Wayne, and I'm so excited I get to meet you in person and da da da." And more and more, I get that, and I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing. And it's a thrill. I love it. This one guy comes up to me. And he's, "Oh, it's cool to meet you from, I know you from LinkedIn." And here's how I do LinkedIn. If I know you, obviously, and when I meet all these people, usually I'll go on my LinkedIn and pull out their business cards after I've met them, and I'll link in with them. And then but also some people will reach out to me, and if we have enough mutual friends and they're in the industry, and I think it would be good for us to cross paths, I accept them. What I don't accept, because I have over 4,900 people now, I don't accept people that are just, either they're headhunters. No offense to headhunters, I think they are important. They have a need. We have a need for them, or people that they just think they're, it should just be a number counter.
And I know
not somebody I'm going to meet, or they just want to try to sell me every.
They pitch you right away.
Planner on the planet. I got probably 100,000 of them, and that I've deleted that I don't bring in. But so this guy, real sharp guy, he's in property management and great personality. I was talking to one of the Castle team, and he walks up and and he's chatting with both of them. And he says to me, he goes, I know you. It's cool to meet you, you know, and, you know, and he says, now what's with all these pictures you have with all these beautiful women? You know, and it's come up before.
Okay.
I said, if you look at my pictures on LinkedIn, there's pictures of men and women. And people just notice the beautiful women. And that's normal. It's okay, but it's funny because I get that said to me a lot. And I don't sit there and go, okay, you can be in the picture. You can't, you know how you've been with me. I go, hey, let's do a group shot, and boom, you know, up goes the selfie arm, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah, you don't do that. I mean, you're what I call, like, you have the Big Ten philosophy. It's like, you know, you want everybody to have a good time that you're around, just have fun, because in the industry we're in, there's a lot of negativity. And if we can make, you know, one of our clients smile
right.
during the day, it might be the only time they smile and laugh. And we take that seriously. So kind of weird that someone makes that observation, but whatever, man.
It happens all. I just laugh. I think it's just, some of it's just playful, but you know, it's true. We have a lot of beautiful women in our industry. You know, a great time to mention Dawn Miller, the paving lady.
Hi, Dawn.
I think might be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And
Yep.
And you know what makes her so beautiful is who she is on the inside as well. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
she's cool, dude.
I live in South Florida. You know, there's a lot of beautiful women, but there's in our industry, there's a lot of beautiful women that are also they're just beautiful on the inside. So,
Yep.
you know, I think that's a big plus. Now on the flip, and you know, Dawn won't come on the show. She's not comfortable doing it.
That's
You know,
weird, dude. We got to
someday
talk to
we're
her.
gonna
I don't
drag
know.
her on, but she's great with people. She's great. You know, the woman knows paving, and she also knows concrete. I mean, she really knows the industry and is sharp about it. And she's good talking with groups and individuals, but she's not comfortable with doing what we do. She did it before on one, and she didn't enjoy it. And so anyway, but so like when we're doing the selfies, you know, for you and I, it's like, okay, picture, let's do it. And you know, maybe because I'm the youngest of 9, I was always the little entertainer growing up, and I'm comfortable with it. The shocking thing is, yesterday I did it, and I said, come on. And some came over and some don't. And I don't think it's all of them are on witness protection. I think a lot of them, they really just either they're not used to be invited to do something like that, or there's a confidence issue, which kind of makes me worried if they're actually working the trade show. But it's amazing how, where, you know, you and I live outside the box, a lot of people aren't ready for anything to happen anytime and just go for it. I mean, we could probably start an improvisational group, you know.
Dude, this topic, we could run with this for hours. We have talked about this a lot off the clock, but yeah, I think kind of my fallback answer to that will be, there's more than one path that somebody can take, you know, regarding what it is they're looking for. They don't have to be, you know, these outgoing extroverts like we are. It is certainly not required.
One of my secrets to when I'm going to go speak in front of a group, whether it's in front of one, like the gatekeeper at a building, or if it's in front of a largest group I spoke in front of was like somewhere around 37,000. And that was a rush.
That's
it was an
big.
Outside event. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sounds fun.
Gave me the mic, and I could hear my voice bouncing off the ground. I mean,
that's cool, dude.
It was a huge rush. I can't sing, but I'm comfortable with talking voice. I don't care if other people don't like it, but I'm okay with it. So another sponsor is M2E. And of course, it's always WRG. So two things I want to mention about that. So when I go out and speak in front of a group, I always think of something funny to say. And usually I think of it pretty quick. If you're not really quick and witty or obnoxious, however you want to describe me, think of something that's funny, or tell them a funny little story that happened, you know, and share it with the person or the group. I think once, if let's say you're going to stand in front of 10 or 50 or 100 people or 400, whatever it is, and you're going to talk, if you come out and tell them something funny at first, it gets your endorphins kicking in and you enjoy it. You get a little interaction with the group. Now, if you say something funny and they don't laugh, I don't know what to say after that. Maybe just run. No. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, somebody said, because we're owners reps. We deal with contractors and engineers and architects and attorneys and all these, professions. I have had every once in a while somebody will come up to me at an event and they'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you because you're good friends with John Marks over at WRG, and they happen to be water restoration." And I said, "You can ask John, because they do mold and all that other stuff that they might be involved with a project we're doing." I go, "John gets zero special favor from us,
Right.
nor would you in a roofing situation."
Exactly.
Companies get brought to the table, and WRG happens to be one. But first of all, we're not making the decisions. We're an owner's rep. The owners, the board of the directors make the decisions on who they're going to use. They're not going to get special favor just because they're good friends of mine. I try to be good friends with everybody, but I want to always get that misconception wiped out. It's just a farthest thing the way we're going to do business, because the integrity of our business and how you and I, the integrity of the industry is extremely important. Just because we're friends with somebody, they'll get them to the table. But I'm telling you what, if they did a bad job or if they don't meet the criteria, they might not even make it to the final four or the final two.
No, I agree. I agree.
Same thing with whether it's Falcon Engineering or Epic or M2E, whoever it is. I'm friends with all these people. Yes, I'm a human. That's what we do. But no, does not get anybody special favor, as well as our pretend sponsors that we do. We just do it because it's fun and funny,
Yep.
So, and I know, and you're the same way. I mean, when you're doing work, that you all been in business for years, decades. You get up there, you've got to prove yourself every job,
every day. I mean, we're like you, I'm sure you say this too. Like, I'm only as good as my last job.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
For us, we do contracts from whether it's going to be 2 years or 5 years. And, our team knows we're performing every day at peak skill to satisfy our clients. It's just because you got it doesn't mean you just sit back. You just had the NFL draft yesterday. How I know that, it's unbelievable, because living in Florida, I'm so confused with sports because it's always spring and summer for me. But they did it. And we'll see some guys, they'll come out of, usually in football, it's the college ranks. And these guys, they're destined for, just an amazing career. They throw a ton of money at them and they end up doing nothing. And then you got some other guy that's a 15th round draft pick, or, as a walk-on. If you ever watched that movie about the Philadelphia Eagles, you ever seen it? I had to see if I can get that guy in the show, because people I know him. He lives near me.
Yeah, the kicker was Tim Mazzetti.
No. It was Mark Wahlberg played him in a movie, Unstoppable,
you're right,
or I think it was,
Yep.
And it was back in the 70s, and this guy walks on. He's a local Philadelphia boy, and he ends up playing for a few years and has a great career. But it's so inspirational. I love that movie. And Mark Wahlberg, who I'd love to have on the show, is also very inspirational. He's smaller than you, and he plays these big characters. It's like, but anyway, I think that's a great analogy, athletes versus business. But although our careers are a lot longer, and we got to keep performing, good example. We had Jordan Goldman on, who's now the CEO of Castle, and he's like, and now he's got to prove himself to run the company. The guy's had a great career, but he hasn't changed. It's like he's not like going, okay. He didn't change an ounce. He's a great leader, and because he's a humble servant. He's as real as he's in it. He has no airs, and I think he's a perfect example. It's not because I want to get him on the show again. It's because and if I never got another Castle contract, it doesn't change who he is or who his company is. Hope we will.
Right.
But once again, I'm not, the boards make the decisions, not Castle. It's a big deal. We bring him on the show not because he's going to do anything except for I think he's a perfect example of how people are supposed to be. And now if he watches this, he's going to probably be a little, oh man, I can't believe Kelly said that, but it's the truth. Sorry, Jordan. You're a great
He
guy.
won't be like that. He's cool, dude. Yeah.
But I get uncomfortable when people say nice things about me. Shockingly, I really do. It's kind of I love celebrating everybody else's
Right.
success and their things. But for me, that's the one thing. It's not. It's if you want to make me uncomfortable, do that.
Right.
Compliment me on something. Compliment me on my dark hair. It looks so terrible on camera. I swear, it is dark up there, but it doesn't look like it in here. Lighting, hello, lighting. Come on, guys, let's get this right. But anyway, so I know we got to wrap it up because you got to rock and roll, and I got to rock and roll. I got things to do too. I've been out of town. You've been out of town.
Yeah.
It is catch up Friday.
Catch up Friday is a good way to put it.
Sometime around 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, I mean the stuff never goes away. It's the phone keeps buzzing, the plane lands, all the messages, and I just tabled them to today. Because I was traveling all day yesterday and just a lot going on, and so yeah, catch up Friday is a good way to put it.
So how was Dallas? Did you run into our friend that plays baseball?
I did not. The event was in Frisco, a suburb of Dallas. Dallas is a very wonderful city. They have some really cool entertainment districts: Deep Ellum, Stockyards, Broadway. I didn't have a chance to go to any of those because of the conference that I was at. It was at a place called the Star, which is the Dallas Cowboys practice facility.
Oh wow!
And also known as Jerry's World.
Do they practice?
Jerry World? Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
And it was cool. It like in typical Texas fashion, it's big. Everything's big there, right? We all know that. So, and they built an entertainment district around the practice facility, and the whole area is called the Star. And I was impressed, dude. It was really cool. It's always busy, 24/7. Pretty amazing.
Let's make a plan right now, live. I haven't talked to you about it. I'm most likely Derek Holland, baseball superstar, who we got to get back on again. He'll probably have his fundraiser again in October. And I think we ought to go for a few days, support his foundation for kids and cancer research and all that stuff. And we should do a live show from the stockyards. Have you been to the stockyards?
Well, yeah. I referenced that. Of course, yeah. That's a great entertainment area in Dallas. I love it.
I went there for the first time in my life last October when I went to his fundraiser.
Okay, it's a fun area. I know.
I loved it.
Yep.
It was so cool. And I also, if anybody wants to send me money, I need $7,500 to buy a pair of boots there. Which is the same price I paid for my Vespa. I'm not endorsing boots because they make people taller. It almost makes me too tall when I wear them. It might be a nice thing for Wayne to wear. But these boots for $7,500, I hate to admit it, but they look like they were $7,500 boots.
Right.
Well, I didn't try them on. I tried them on. I'm like, oh, geez, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to cut into my retirement plan. I mean, I got 19 years to go, so who would have thrown it into 25 more years of work.
Right.
We might have to start charging these sponsors but I swear, I think that would be a blast for us to do that.
I'd love it. Stockyards is great.
A company invited you and I to go golfing down in Miami yesterday.
Company is, can you say it? Well, you have to think about it, so that must be no. We can talk off the clock.
Well, I don't want to look like we're trading favors for anything either, because we don't.
Yeah, don't do it then.
They're super good people, and we have mutual friends. And they said, hey, why? And I was telling them, I go, Wayne and I don't spend a lot of time together, although we talk on the phone several times a week and we see each other doing this. I said, I wish Wayne lived closer. And with all the traveling and blah, 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 we don't get, I said, so let's force Wayne to come down here to go golfing.
I'll do it.
I mentioned the invite, so.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I think that'd be great.
But yeah, but it's, I guess to size all this up, aren't we in a great industry?
Dude, I love it, man. I was in a happy spot all week, being around friends and
Yeah,
seeing the struggles and the challenges and the growth and everything that they've been able to accomplish. Hats off to everyone.
right,
They're everyone in our industry. God help me. It's to me, it's I love it so much. I've been
right.
in it for so long, 21 years.
And for the people that are out of state, other than the weather, it's kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but I am very dark right now. I swear I got the room dark and it's still, for some reason, I don't know what makes it happen. It's like really bright and I look like a ghost. But if you're a a community association manager and you're sick of the snow and all the ugh that you have wherever you live in the country, Florida is wide open. We'd like to see the industry. I got to be careful how I say this. When I was in DC, community managers they were treated very, very well. We have a different kind of clientele in the coastal region because they're part-time, they're here, and then they're snowbirds, they head back. It's a different type of clientele, but I think if we elevate the industry and we can make it that much even better because we already live in a great place. There's tons of opportunity, whether you're in construction or anything that goes along with construction or with hospitality and management. This is a great place to be. We've got a great government. Hard to believe to say that. Florida really cares about making Florida better. You know, people know we're a great state, but you wouldn't know it by how people always trying to make it better and better and better. We're very conscious of that. So it's a great place to relocate. So kind of doing and it's a double-edged sword. But right now, the number one problem everybody has is labor. And
Big
so
time.
this is not a place for lazy people that don't want to work. We don't want you unless you're retired, and congratulations. You know, hats off to you and thank you for your whatever you did to get to that point. But if you're of working age, come down here and work. And but we really have a problem with having enough people here and nice high quality people that can do it. So if you're doing it in another state, whether you're an owner's rep or whatever you're doing, we welcome you all to come down here and make Florida even that much better. We're already the best state in the country. So why not make us even better?
Love it.
Welcome, but don't bring your bad habits down here. Come down here and be a nice, good citizen and use your turn signals. And when you go to the grocery store, take the buggies either to the little receiving section or take them back inside. When you get out of your car and you're walking in, grab a buggy. Have you noticed, did y'all have that up in where you were from versus here? Or did people just leave their buggies right in the parking lot?
I've actually noticed it's probably kind of a tie. I think probably about 99% of the people that I've witnessed do return the carts to those stations.
In New Smyrna Beach.
Everywhere, dude. Remember, I go all over the state, obviously, and everywhere I have seen those habits remain consistent with when I lived in the Midwest.
They don't happen in South Florida. I'm telling you, I remember when I lived in Virginia, had this woman in our HOA. She was on the board and I don't know how she kept getting elected. She was a realtor. I was just not the people we like. She was just a witch. She's the one who's leaving notes on people's doors all the time.
Whatever,
saying
dude.
you did something wrong. And I'm at the grocery store, which was around the corner from the house. And I see her walk up, load her stuff in her car, and drive off and left her buggy. So that didn't happen in Northern Virginia. It wasn't a common event. I moved down here. I'm shocked when I see people actually do the right thing with their buggy.
Huh.
And they're otherwise very nice people. But I don't know what it is. As soon as they get either behind the wheel or close to the wheel, they forget all how to behave. They don't know how to use their turn signal. They cut in front of people. I watched a state police officer on Alligator Alley yesterday when I was coming back from Tampa. He went over 4 or 5 lanes, no turn signal. Oh, it wasn't Alligator. It was after I got Alligator Alley. After I got into Broward, is where he did it. And I'm like, First he went right and cut off somebody, and then he cut 4 lanes. And I watched him until he was so far away I couldn't see him anymore. He wasn't going after anybody. He was just, I think his shift was in and he wanted to get home. But he drove worse than everybody else. That's going to get me in trouble, but it's the truth. Broward, Miami-Dade, the sheriff's department, which is huge down here, they don't use their turn signals most of the time. And the same thing with the residents. So that's all I'm asking. That's why, okay, we welcome you, but I'm asking the people that live here and the people that can maybe move here, use your turn signals, return your buggies. You got anything? You good?
I don't think those are big asks. I love it, and we can end it on that, brother.
And I think it makes you a better person. And grab another buggy, grab somebody else's buggy who was too lazy. Be a good influence, and don't yell at them. Don't be a Karen.
We don't need it.
This, we usually do this on Wednesday. So now we're going to say, everybody have a wonderful weekend. We have the air show right in my backyard this weekend. I was afraid that they're going to be flying over today and interrupting. I'm sure because usually for a couple days before, I hear these F-18s flying over the house. It's actually kind of cool, until you're on the phone and you can't hear somebody for 30 seconds. But wherever you are, have a great weekend. If you have no plans, come on down. I got a few extra parking spaces. Just kidding. And just whatever it is, be safe. And then next week, have a great week as well.
See you, my brother. Thanks, everybody.
God bless.
Yeah, bye.